this is Ebonygeek. You're always welcome to join me in expanding your knowledge base. Comments are always welcome, and please subscribe. And here's what I have at that point with adding some cardboard stripping over the top. We have a nail and a little metal rod weighing it down while it dries. I'm really curious to see how this is going to work, but we're going to wait until it dries out and we'll see what happens. Another thing is, if you decide to try this approach, make sure to get your cardboard straight, because as you can see, some of the spots still show the cathode leads that's been soldered, but we'll see what happens once everything dries. And we're back. It may take some time for the glue to dry. For the cardboard added, I put a nail on and this bar thingy on top of it just to weigh it down a little bit. Now we got to deal with a little bit of fall off. So we have our extra cardboard here on the edge. I'm gonna see if I could actually cut it off with a razor and just pull it up. And make sure you cut through it completely, because you don't want to pull up the part that you need. Now this part with the cardboard is something that I added on to Cheyenne's idea that she gave me. Okay, so we have that cut off. Now we need to look at our negative leads, because some of it got glued down. And actually, I only see one. It should be a problem. So I'm taking my razor. Actually, this isn't the one. I just want to bend this one up a little bit. Okay. So when it's all said and done, this is the one with the problem. It got glued down. So I'm taking my razor and kind of cutting through the glue carefully. And then I want to kind of scrape it to attempt to get some of that glue off of it. I might have to scrape it a little bit more. But all in all, just raising some of these, because I just need to be able to get to the lead in order to connect it to the negative leads that's going to be added. I'm hoping it doesn't interfere with soldering, but if it does, we'll clean it up a little bit more. If not, then we're pretty much in good shape, because this should not interfere with these positive leads. As a matter of fact, this should make it a little bit easier. So we want to go to the first row here. We still want to kind of bend it a little bit over, but you don't have to be as careful. So I'm using my pointer and I'm gonna bend. Actually, let's bend it down from here. I'm using my pointer. You could use a pencil, something that's not going to be too big where it doesn't bend over. As you can see, I'm using the smallest point here to bend it over, and trying to bend it over till it meets the first lead. Okay, that's a good one. If you can see what I'm doing, I'm just putting it at the edge and bending it down. I want to kind of bend these a little bit that way. Okay. And bending it down and trying to get it to meet up with the lead ahead of it. A little bit anyway. That should make for easy soldering. And bend it. Okay. That you should have enough lead for everything to solder up really nicely. If you don't, for the positive, if you don't, then you might have to add a little bit wire. But these are meeting up pretty well. Okay. And I should be able to go right to the soldering of them. Okay. So I'm going to turn on my soldering iron. This is what I use to clean off my soldering iron. It's just Brillo pad. As you can see, I've been doing quite a bit of soldering, and so it's kind of packed down in there. When you get it like that, just pull it out and kind of like crunch it around a little bit. I mean, I really need a new one, but I keep forgetting to get one. When you pull it out, you're going to hear pieces of solder falling off. Now I don't want to dirty up my work area, so I'm going to do this over the garbage can. But you just pull it out, dump out the stuff that's at the bottom. There's going to be a lot of fine solder. And then just crunch it around a little bit. Pull it out, push back in, crunch it around. What happens is the solder kind of breaks apart and falls into the garbage can. You're only going to be able to get away with that a couple times because not all the solder is going to fall off. And then just find a part of it that looks fairly clean and stuff it back in there. Okay. Now I have a pretty clean spot to clean out my soldering iron now. Because it was getting hard to actually clean off the solder like that. Okay. Now, my soldering iron is heated up. Just tending the tip. Well, actually, I hadn't even turned on the thing. So getting ready to solder all this up. We're going to solder our first line of anodes, which is our positive, down over the cardboard. Now remember, when you're bending your leads, you want to put whatever you're bending it with at the edge of the lead and then bend it down. Because we do have the cardboard there, but we want to make sure that it's still not touching the negative leads. That'll cause a couple problems, especially since we did all of that gluing. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and tip my soldering iron. I'm gonna start the soldering process. I'm just gonna put this at the edge so it's not moving so much. So you heat up your lead and you add your solder. Now I know the glue may be interfering with it. Let's try again. Heat up your lead, add your solder. Let's see what happened there. Okay, we're good there. Heat up your lead. And add your solder. You're good there. Continue on to the next one. Heat up your lead. Add your solder. I believe that one didn't take. Well, actually it did. Okay. Heat up your lead. Add your solder. Heat up your lead. Add your solder. Heat up your lead. Add your solder. Heat up your lead. And add your solder. Okay. And we're good there for the first roll. Inspect your soldering. And we're good to do the next row. Like I said, you want to put whatever you're using. Let's start from the bottom. Put whatever you're using at the edge and then bend it over it. At the edge, bend it over it. And you're doing this just like you did the first one. As long as you line them up good, you'll be able to go right down the line. Just like we just did. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this soldered up, and we'll be back to see how everything is working, because at that point we should be at the end of preparing our LED display. So I will be right back. I am Ebonygeek, and I hope that the information provided has been helpful to you. Please remember to subscribe. Happy building and happy coding.